afternoon. Welcome to another As the Crow Flies adventure here in our Master Hiker Quest series. This is video 3, and this is also trail 3 of 3 here at Shawnee Lookout Park. Today's trail is going to be the Miami Fort Trail. It's 1.4 miles in length, moderately difficult to walk. You got a great view of the Miami and Ohio rivers along the way. You can see right here is a map of the trail. It's another loop trail. And I got some help with me today.
Hi.
You guys ready to hike?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. This is probably my favorite trail here at Shawnee Lookout Park. It's cool because you're actually walking into an old ancient fort that was built by the Adena and Hopewell Indians. There's also a great lookout at the end of the trail overlooking the Ohio River. You guys making it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big uphill part right here to get up into the fort. A little bit of elevation. Nothing we can't handle though, right?
Yeah.
All right, making our way up to the hill to the start of the fort. There's a little sign here. It says the purpose of the fort was ceremonial rather than military. Please help to preserve the fort, mounds, and habitation sites by staying on the trail. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
Gotta stay on the trail. All right, we are now entering the fort. Got a little seating area here. Kids are ready to take a breather already.
There's a big hill.
That was a big hill. You see this sign right here. It makes mention of the floodplains, which you can actually see down here. So you get a great view up on this fort looking down. You can tell why they would have chose this, because they definitely have the high ground up here. You can see this berm that was built up many years ago. A lot of this isn't natural either. The Native Americans actually moved dirt to build up these walls to fortify the Miami fort. Jack's just found this fallen tree right here. He's trying to walk across. You got it, bro?
I don't know.
One foot in front of the other. You got it. What do you think, Jay? Do you think you can do that? All right, monkey see, monkey do. Jade's on it now. One foot in front of the other.
No. I'm scared.
All right, we've made it to the fork in the road here. Start of the loop. We're gonna take a right. According to this sign right here, it looks like in 1969, archaeologists discovered post patterns of the Hopewell house. So, like I said before, the Hopewell people inherited this land that we're walking on. And it looks like they found hearth storage pits and charred walnuts, corn kernels, and many other stone and flint tools. Pretty cool. So he made a New Year's resolution this year. What was it, buddy? What was your resolution?
It's to hike with my dad a lot more.
Isn't that awesome?
Mine too.
Yours too?
Yeah.
I think we're going off trail. Oh yeah, that's definitely not the way. That's a steep drop, isn't it?
Yeah. Steep.
All right, we're not going that way.
Yeah. Oh, wait, up top.
All right, looks like we're coming up on the trail to the lookout. As you can see by this sign right here, we're technically leaving the fort if we head right. Jade's got her walking stick. It's actually her brother's, but he's being nice enough to let her use it.
Yeah, but sharing.
You're sharing?
Yeah.
That's good. We'll have to get you your own walking stick. What'd you find, Jax?
Sign.
What is it?
It's about the burial mounds.
Yeah, there's a mound here. Site 4, Mound 2. An Adena burial mound. The Adena Indians were the ones that lived up here. If you look right here, this mound right here, that's where they're buried.
Oh.
We had to stop and take a breather, get a little water break in. We're almost there. Jackson has a compass on his hiking staff. You know which way we're traveling, bud?
Southwest.
That's right. Good job. And we've made it to the overlook. Man, look at that view. That bridge is the Carroll Cropper Bridge going across Interstate 275. What do you guys think of that view?
It's good.
It's actually a pretty interesting view because it's the confluence of the Great Miami River into the Ohio River, which the Miami runs right underneath that railroad trestle there, and then drains into the Ohio. This is also the confluence of 3 states. So right now we're in Ohio. Across the bridge over there, across the river, that's Kentucky. And if you look down here where all these floodplains are, about halfway over, that's Indiana. So that's pretty cool. We're at the confluence of the Great Miami into the Ohio, and we're at the confluence of 3 states. Looks like we're gonna head out now and find a spot to eat. The kids are hungry. Normally I would just let them eat right there, but there's a lot of hikers out today and I don't want to hog up the view, so we're going to be moseying on. I think I know another good spot we can sit and grab a snack. You gonna make it, Jade? You guys are troopers. Little master hikers in training. Making our way up the hill here, back from the lookout. We are now entering the fort again. We're gonna hang a right since we came in from the left. Jax is leading the way. All right, we stumbled upon this sign. It says Borrow Pit. I'm thinking that means they used some of the soil here to fortify the top of the fort here. I could be wrong though. On second thought, they may have been used for water retention, because everywhere we see a borrow pit sign, there's a giant puddle. So maybe it was a source of water that they made. Making our way down some steps right here. And we gotta go back up. Not a fan of the stairs. I'd rather just climb steep elevation and have to walk up all these steps. Alright, we're trying to find somewhere to hop a squat and eat. Looks like a good spot up there. Found a nice little spot to eat. Jade, what do you got? What are you eating for lunch?
I have Doritos.
Doritos?
A sandwich with just peanut butter.
A peanut butter sandwich? What do you got, buddy?
I got a PB&J.
PB&J? Nice. While the kids are eating, Dad's gonna get some much needed hydration. Today's video is brought to you by Juicy Truth from Rheingeist. It's their new hazy juicy IPA. Let's give it a try. It's pretty good beer. How's your guys' lunch?
Good.
Found this cool spot right here. This giant rock dedicated to Daniel Carter Beard. If that name sounds familiar,
Yeah.
he was one of the founders of the Boy Scouts of America. You see right here on the plaque, there is the Boy Scout emblem. He was born in Cincinnati in 1850.
Daddy.
Well, normally we would take this way down to get to the trail, but it looks like it's blocked off. A tree fell down. It's a big tree. Alright, we found a way around. Good job, Jax. Way to lead the way. Alright, we've made it back around the loop. Now the home stretch. We are leaving the fort. Okay, we're almost through with the Miami Fort Trail. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this trail?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for the Miami Fort Trail. All right, we drove past this on the way in. Decided to stop and take a closer look. They have an old schoolhouse here and a log cabin. I believe that is the schoolhouse. And up there's the log cabin. Bring up a little bit on the spring house and school over here. Looks like it was built in the early 1800s. It's a two-story building. The top was a schoolhouse and the bottom was a spring house where they stored milk. Kept everything nice and cool. Also, I was reading that the Treaty of Fort Finney was signed right here in this very schoolhouse. And during the fall, they opened it up, and I believe they have a replica of the treaty that was signed. This house is not original to this area. It was actually down in North Bend, Ohio. What do you think, bud? This was a school. It's a far cry from your school.
It's so different.
Yeah, it was a one-room schoolhouse. That's what they did back then. Walking around the side, you can see where the spring house entrance was right here. Yep, looks like it's locked. Looks like it's been updated a little bit. It has electric. speaking of Fort Finney, it's actually located not too far from here. It's on the site of what is now the Miami Fort Power Station. There's apparently a marker down there denoting where the actual fort was at. But Fort Finney was essentially made as a place to where the United States and the Shawnee Indians could sign the treaty. Essentially, the Shawnee were surrendering over parts of Ohio to the United States reluctantly, but that's where it took place. It took place in the schoolhouse behind me, which was actually located down by that Miami Fort Power Station. And like I said, there is a marker down there. We're gonna see if we can find it here in a bit. All right, well, that was cool. Now we're gonna make our way over to the log cabin. And here's the cabin, built in 1795 by Jamaica Dunn. It was originally located at Elizabethtown, Ohio, which is not too far from here. It was actually saved and restored and then brought here to the Hamilton County Park District, where it's been ever since. And for its time, this was actually considered a decent house. So from 1795 up until the 1950s, this cabin right here was actually occupied by people. Which is hard to believe. Something like this is still around. It's pretty impressive. What do you guys think? Should we move into a log cabin?
It looks too old for me.
I like it. A little creepy looking. I could see myself living here though.
Looks old.
It's very old. 1795. That's a long, long time ago. All right, guys, are you ready to find the marker where Fort Finney was?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can find it. All right, we're back in a familiar spot here once again. Only this time we're looking for the Fort Finney marker, which we found just right here. This fort was built right here on the mouth of the Great Miami River. It was chosen because it was near the lands that they were going to acquire from the Shawnee. And also down here you see, this was a pioneer grave site. So there's a lot of unknown pioneers who still rest on this very site. And I would imagine that schoolhouse was not too far from here. Pretty cool. You would never know this was here just driving past. A historical site nonetheless. Really sad though, because really the only reason this was here was to have the Indians sign over their land to the Americans. Fort is long gone. Now it's just a power station for the time being. I want to thank my two hiking buddies right here for being patient. Dad's dragging him along on one of his crazy adventures on the side of a road by the power plant, looking at a plaque. It was a good day today. We crossed Shawnee Lookout Park off the list. So we're done with that, and we're on to the next part. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.